is this working?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ward. Gentlemen, thank you so much. This is a very brief program. We're not going to bore you. God knows there's not a person in this room that hasn't heard me speak a million times. I'm just flattered to be the conduit between the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the University of Michigan. This is a program, you heard mentioned, that has basically been done with the high schools of the Hall of Famers, where a plaque is presented to that high school and it resides there, and it's just really, just something for the kids to look at and say, wow, maybe, who knows, there's nothing you can't accomplish. And when the Hall of Fame came to me and said, we want to extend this and start it at the university level. And if you've played pro football and you had any success playing pro football, obviously you owe a lot of it to where you grew up, but you owe a great debt of gratitude to the university that you attended, whether that was Michigan or Southern Cal or even schools in Ohio. Right? No, not really. In spite of going to a school in Ohio. But so I'm so pleased that this program, this is the first one here at the University of Michigan. And it just means so much to me because of what Michigan means to me. Jimmy and I showed up here in September of 1967. Yeah, it was 1967. We were freshmen together. We grew up together. We've been friends forever, and that's part of what playing at a school like Michigan means. It means forging a relationship with your coaches. And Gary Moeller is here. He was on that staff, and Jerry Hanlon was. I mean, and to all my teammates, Paul Stroba and Caldo and Brandy, there have been Fritz. You've been coming and going. Thanks for being here, but you're here because we're all under the same umbrella, and it's the umbrella of the University of Michigan. The real reason that we're in town this weekend, let's not lose sight of it, we're here because there's a football game tomorrow where the University of Michigan is hopefully going to wreak havoc on Indiana. And when I say Indiana, before we express all sorts of negative feelings towards the University of Indiana, I just have to tell you, I was shocked about an hour ago when one of my oldest, I almost call him one of my oldest friends because he's really not, because I didn't meet Dick until about 10 years ago when we started to work together. But I think he's one of my oldest friends because I've been listening to him for so long, call virtually every big event that there's ever been in sports. But I was shocked an hour ago when in walked the incomparable, the great Dick Enberg. And Dick, thank you so much for being here. Dick is a Central Michigan chip and proud of it, but also you went to the University of Indiana as well. What did you do at Indiana?
Talked a lot about Michigan.
When in Rome, I got to tell you, Dick, you know how to survive. Dick, thanks for being here. But when you get elected to something like the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's the pinnacle of individual achievement in my sport. There just isn't anything higher than that. But I played a team game, and anyone who played a team game that really understands being a part of a team knows that yes, individual honors are nice, but nothing will ever be better than being part of a team. And I know that yesterday was the 10th anniversary of us losing our boat. And and Kathy, everybody in this room is thinking about you and about Bo. But Angelique Shengelis asked me something about, the team, which was Bo's mantra, and how it's a t-shirt now, and it's a catchy saying. But to those of us that did it, Ward, you know what I'm talking about, it was so much more than that. It was the fabric that held every one of us together. Because we were taught that to be part of a team, to sacrifice yourself and maybe some glory that might come your way, to sacrifice that for the betterment of the group was the most valiant, the most courageous, and the best thing you could do. And we believed that. It wasn't a t-shirt. It wasn't a slogan. We really, truly believed it. So when I went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I played my entire career for the St. Louis Cardinals. But the reality is, I learned how to play the game of football and how to play it correctly. And I learned how to be a man. And I learned how to be a father. And I learned how to be a husband at the University of Michigan. And this is no disrespect to pro football. And when I stood on the steps there in Canton, Ohio, and delivered it was 20 years ago. I thought to myself at the time, wow, this is the greatest moment of my life. But in reality, I got to tell you something. From a sports standpoint, the greatest moment of my life was the first time I ran out that tunnel. And I had that blue jersey on my back, and I was going to play for the University of Michigan, the greatest university on the face of the earth.
Woo!
So I'm proud. Hey, I'm immensely proud to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer and a College Football Hall of Famer, and there are lots of Hall of Fames in this world, but I'll tell you, there's only one University of Michigan, and that I can leave something behind that might remind people that this was my school and I was damn proud of it. That makes me very, very, very happy. Thanks for being here, everybody, and go Blue!